Rizakos here, founder of ProfitableDaycare.com. I'm a childcare business mentor and strategist, an early childhood educator by trade, and I am also a childcare business owner. I have owned my own center since 2004, and I am happy that you're here. So if this is the very first time you are watching one of my videos, welcome. Thank you for finding me. So today's topic is all about your childcare business hiring policies and procedures and why they are so important. So one of the most popular complaints that I hear from other childcare business owners is the staff. So whether that's hiring staff that is qualified, whether that's keeping the staff that you enjoy, whether that's getting rid of the staff that you don't like, whether that's staff calling in sick all the time or not doing their job properly, the number one complaint that I hear from other childcare business owners is staff, employees. And it is a real problem for many reasons, right? As a business owner, you have to understand that you cannot control everything out there, right? You can't control how people show up to work. You can't control if they're going to stay there forever or if they're going to quit after a week. You can't control if they're going to show up late. You can't control any of that. So as childcare business owners, we need to be aware of that we cannot control everything. We cannot control how other people react and how they're going to show up in our business, But what we can control is how we react to situations and what kinds of things we put out when we, open up our center and hire people to join us in our business family. So having a clear hiring policy is really important. Now, I am not saying that if you have a hiring policy that you will not come across headaches and problems, with staff. It comes with the territory. I heard a really cool saying that said, as business owners, when you hire someone, you're just guessing. And when you fire someone, that's when you've made a decision. And that's really, really true, because you can do your best to ask the best questions, to put them through certain tests, to make sure that you've checked out references and that they have all their background checks and, police papers and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you don't know how they're going to fit with everyone else, with your, with the clients and the kids and the other staff. You don't know if you're going to enjoy, spending time with them. You don't know how it's going to affect your business. So there is no use in beating yourself up as a business owner or feeling really stressed out, because at the end of the day, you cannot control that. So what you can do as a childcare business owner is set systems in place that can help you attract the right types of people to you and repel those that you don't want to work with, right? Because we all have an ideal employee in mind. We all have someone in our mind that, as soon as you close your eyes, you think this is the kind of person that I want to be working for my center. And on the flip side, you also know what types of people you don't want to be working in your center. So having clear policy procedures is really important. Now, as a childcare business owner, you should have in place a team handbook. And this is basically a booklet that you'll put together filled with rules and regulations and expectations and roles and responsibilities, anything that has to do with you as the business owner and your staff, anyone that you employ in your center. So it doesn't matter if it's the cook or the cleaning person or the educator or the director, maybe you've hired someone, or the manager. It goes for everyone. That's the very first thing that you have to make sure you have in place in your business. And in this booklet, this is where you will start thinking about your hiring policy and how exactly you want to approach it. It should be clear and it should be simple to follow, so that whether you are hiring or your hired director is hiring in your place, everyone knows exactly the procedure that they need to follow. So I want to take a few moments of your time and just walk you through a very simple hiring policy, give you a few examples how you can create your own, hopefully, helping you in your business, especially if you are struggling with staff. So let's talk about hiring a brand new person to join your business family. If you have never hired anyone before, and this is the very first time you are going ahead and interviewing for a position in your center, it's a big deal. It's very stressful. You might get overwhelmed. You might start having feelings of, who am I? You might start feeling like you're a fraud, or maybe you won't be taken seriously, and that's all completely normal. When I first ventured off into my business, it took us about a year to start hiring employees to work in the classrooms so we could actually pull back and do something else. And I remember my very first hire, it was a complete disaster. I had never interviewed anyone in my life. I was really excited about, my business growing and about the team growing, but I had no clue as to how I was going to find this person, right? So I had no policies in place, I had no booklets in place, I had no, list of questions to ask, and it was really stressful. So I got really nervous, and I just hired someone that I thought might be a good fit. But again, the conversation that we had throughout the interview was definitely not a conversation that I would have right now if I was hiring someone from my daycare. And it turned out that this person was not a good fit, and we had to let them go. So I don't want you to feel as though you have to know everything going in and, everything's going to be perfect, because you might hire someone and you might think that, wow, this person is amazing, only to find out a few months down the line that it wasn't a good fit for different reasons. So don't beat yourself up for it. It's completely normal. Today, I'm going to walk you through a few things you can do to make sure that you have created a really easy hiring policy that you can follow or hand off to someone that's in your management team that they can follow as well, and that hopefully will bring you closer to getting together your dream team, your team of educators and assistant educators that are there and they fit well in your team vibe and your team culture, and you are 100% satisfied with their work. Now, so the very first thing that you have to do before you create your hiring policies and get really clear on your business vibe, your team culture. What kind of people do you want to be working for you? When someone comes in and out of your center, what kind of feeling do you want them to have as soon as they enter your center and as soon as they leave your center? Because that has everything to do with the people that you're going to be hiring. Chances are they will be in your center more than you as the owner, and you need to make sure that they are extensions of you, and that everything that you've poured into your business is felt within your employees. So whether you're there or you're not there, the team culture and the team vibe is always the same. So before you start writing anything, you need to make sure on your business's vibe and the team culture that you want to create for your business, right? So a few things you could ask yourself is, what kind of employees do I want to have? What do they look like? Do they speak 2-3 languages? What kind of skills might they have? Do they have to have a great sense of humor? Am I looking for high energy people? Maybe employees that are very musical. So whatever that looks like for you in your business, just take out a piece of paper and just write it down. What kind of team vibe you want to give off? What do you believe in? And what is your ideal employee look like? So after you've done that, you are ready to start writing your hiring policy. And the very first thing that you have to get clear on when you are, expanding your daycare and you are looking for staff to join you is you need to know where you are going to be looking for your people, your employees. Is it going to be in the local newspaper? Are you going to invest in Facebook ads or place an ad in your local paper? Maybe in community centers, maybe post ads in the local college. Whatever that looks like for you, you need to be clear on where you are going to be posting your job opening. Now, once that is said and done, you need to sit down and write a really detailed job description. And in this job description, you should mention everything and anything anyone that is applying for the position would want to know. So for example, the hours, right? Be very clear with the hours. Do you need someone that can stay until 6 p.m. every night, or someone that can open your center at 7 a.m. every single day? Be clear on that. Wages, how much you're paying, if you offer any insurances or any other perks in your center, what kind of qualifications does this person need to have, what kind of background check papers or workshops or anything that you need for this person to have in terms of skills, write it down in your job description. Really important. Next, you're going to write about the position and what exactly they are going to be responsible for, right? So are they going to be changing diapers? Are they going to be going out every day with the kids? Do you expect them to help the kids eat? I don't know, whatever that looks like for you in your center, just make sure you detail it. And I'll tell you why I detail this. A quick example, because one time I was hiring for my toddler group and I omitted the fact that I wanted the educator that I was going to hire to be able to change diapers, because I thought in my head that anyone that would want to come work at my center would know that 2-3-year-olds, sometimes, we're in the middle of potty training and you'll have to change diapers or pull-ups and do all that. And I had a few women that showed up with papers, they had qualifications, they had everything, but as soon as I mentioned, potties and diaper changes and all that, they were out. They didn't want to know anything about it. So you'll be surprised at what kinds of things you need to be really clear on. So make sure that when you are writing the job description, anything you expect this person to be doing on a day-to-day basis, write it down in your job description. And once you're done with that, then it's time to tell them how you are expecting to hear from them. Is it by telephone? Do you want to see their resumes with a cover letter by email? Maybe they can fax it to you if you're still faxing documents. Maybe you want them to show up at your door and give you their resume in person. Make sure you add that in the detailed description as well. So now that you know where you're posting your ad and you've created a really detailed ad about the position that you're hiring for, you have to make sure once all the resumes start coming in and you're starting really to sort through candidates that are skilled and qualified to apply and those that are not. And I would only call educators or any other employee that you're hiring for that have the skills that you are requiring. Because if you are hiring out of desperation, it is not going to work out at all. So make sure that in your detailed description, you are mentioning everything that this employee needs to have before they press send and they ship you off their resume. You don't want to be wasting other people's time, but you don't want other people to waste your time as well, right? So make sure that that's clear in there. So once you have that, then you set your times for your interviews, whatever that looks like to you. Maybe you want to reach out by email or by telephone and set your appointments, right? So the next step in your hiring process is selecting your potential employees and then having a set time in your week where you carry out interviews. So that could be only mornings for your center. It could only be on a specific day, depending on your schedule and on your energy level. You need to make sure that you plan this accordingly and that you are at your best when you're interviewing someone. So once this person comes in for an interview, what I would suggest usually is that they bring with them all the skills and all the qualifications and all the paperwork that I detailed in my description, right? Copies of everything. I also ask that they bring with them a few copies of work that they have done. So any programming that they've done, I want to be able to see it so I could see exactly if it's going to be a good fit for my center, and examples of their work and maybe any other types of certifications that they might have followed. I'd love to see that as well, along with their first aid and their background check, for sure. They're really important. And when I am having an interview with future employees, I usually have 10 to 20 questions that I have printed out on a sheet of paper, and I go through every single question. Now, if you want a copy of what kinds of questions you might ask while you're interviewing, and you want some ideas, I will post a link underneath this video. I actually have a free PDF that you can download and use. If you hop on over to www.profitabledaycare.com/interview questions, I have included a few examples that might help you in your hiring journey. But I usually have everything detailed out, so I go through this step by step. And why I suggest you write down questions before the candidate comes in for an interview is that if you've never ever done an interview before, you might get stressed out, you might forget to ask something, and you don't want that to happen. You want to seem professional, you want to seem that you know what you're doing, and that you are well organized and prepared. So have some questions ready for them to answer. So once you've asked all your questions and you're getting a good sense that this person might be a good fit, I've actually started doing something really fun in my center. I am asking all potential candidates that I think are a good fit to work for me in my center to do a strengths finder test. And this is an online quiz that they do. They just have to answer a few questions, and you actually get back like 6-7 skills that you have, and sometimes it surprises you, sometimes you already know that you have them, but it's really fun and interesting to see, and it might be something great that you can talk about with your the potential candidate. So if you want the link to that, I'll post it underneath this video. Again, you don't have to do this, but it's a really cool idea, and it's something just a little bit extra just to give you a little bit more input as to how this person thinks and what you can expect from them, right? So I'll post the link underneath this video. You can check it out, decide if you want to add it in your hiring policies. That is totally up to you. So let's say you've done everything and that you know exactly that this person might be a good fit for your center. What's next? Well, next is you hire them, right? It's very simple, basic. You hire them. And in your policy, you should clearly state if you are hiring them for a 3-month trial period or not, and if they need to sign a 3-month contract or not. Very important. It needs to be clear in your hiring policy. And after that, once the 3 months are up, I would add in my hiring policy what happens next, right? So how will they know if they are staying past the 3 months or not? You should add something about that in your hiring policy, letting them know what to expect when the 3 months are up and what kind of paperwork will need to be signed after that period. Now, I have a free cheat sheet if you want to check out. If you're having a hard time hiring staff and you're completely at a loss when it comes to hiring amazing staff, I have created something that might help you. It's a hiring policy, and it walks you through your interview process and your hiring process. So if you want to check it out, I'll post a link underneath this video. Just hop on over to www.profitabledaycare.com/hire staff and download it directly on your PC and use it in your business. Now, I hope that this video was of value to you. I hope that you find the staff that's going to complete your team and really help your business thrive. Because if there's one thing that I know for sure as a childcare business owner, is that your employees and your team is one of your biggest assets, and you want to take care of them, and you want to respect them and treat them with professionalism, and let them know that they are valued in your center. So in order to do that, you want to make sure that you have clear policies in place and that you are hiring the best fit for your center. Will you get it right the first time? Probably not, but that's okay. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the learning process. You're growing as a business owner, and so is your center. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed or get stressed out or get anxious when it comes to finding the right fit. So if you enjoyed this video, hop on over to my website, www.profitabledaycare.com, to sign up for my newsletter. And of course, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you guys next week.